Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, it looks like round one has finished between the Yankees and the Juan Soto camp there. So it looks like a conglomerate of Yankees brass went out there, including Hal Steinbrenner, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, even Omar Minaya. And supposedly they had a 3-hour meeting with Juan Soto. And, of course, this is after the Mets had the meeting, and it looks like now Soto's still making the rounds. So it looks like both New York teams kind of had their first shot in now. Let's see. Obviously, Soto's going to take in some other offers. And, again, some of the names you see thrown out there are the Dodgers, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Phillies. But this episode, I kind of want to focus on someone else that you've kind of been hearing some news about, and that is Christian Walker, the first baseman of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who declined their offer and is going to be a free agent. And now the fact that it looks like Rizzo's out the door, this would be a naturally good piece to fit. Not only is he a good slugger, but just coming off his third Gold Glove in a row. So we'll sprinkle a lot of stuff in this episode, but we'll kind of focus on Walker again if you're not too familiar with him. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm a New York Yankee fan, American League guy. So there's some guys from teams like Arizona, Colorado that might be great, but I don't know too much about. So maybe you don't know too much about Christian Walker. So let's dive into there, as well as some other free agents, that might be a fit for the Yankees. Look at that. And of course, some early announcements finalized with Luis Gil. Remember, kind of discussed last time that he was named the Rookie of the Year by the Baseball Writers, but he's now officially MLB American League Rookie of the Year representative there in the American League for the Yankees. So kind of get into that whole thing that kind of makes it official now. I guess, the Baseball Digest one is kind of like, it's good, but this one, MLB, is now the official Rookie of the Year. So a lot of stuff springing in as well. Some early Hall of Fame talk as the 2025 class introduced, which includes CC Sabathia. So a lot of stuff to dive into this episode. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, so wherever you're listening, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, subscribe, follow, and there's also the YouTube version of the show. So go to YouTube, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and subscribe there as well. So not going to lament too much into the Soto stuff. Again, after this is supposed to be this round one, supposedly between all the teams so far, according to John Heyman, no financials have been discussed. Is this more of a feeling out period? And what can you do for me? And how's the organization going? And according to Hal Steinbrenner, he really has no indication or feeling either way how this is going to go. I did mention at the meeting with the Soto people, again, they flew out to the West Coast for this with Soto and Boris. Went about 3 hours, and it seemed like Soto's maybe concern was about upgrading the talent around him, and he kind of had a lot of questions about the Yankees' development system. And, traditionally, and fans have complained as well, that the Yankees don't develop enough of their own talent there. And some show Soto's like, hey, look, if I'm going to sign somewhere for 10, 12 years, I want some good rookies and some good young talent coming up here. I want to be playing on some, good caliber ball clubs every year, not just once in a while. Now, the New York Yankees, with the finances, they're always going to be in the mix of every year. So I don't know if that should be as big of a deal for Juan Soto, but you can really understand his concern. He wants more Judges and more Volpes, more Luis Gils coming up through the ranks. This team's, he wants to be part of a team that's going to be competing for a World Series every year. So I can understand that part beyond just the money. But again, nothing known in terms of financials. And as mentioned before, there's other teams in the mix, not only just the Mets, but the Blue Jays, the Phillies, the Red Sox. I don't think the Dodgers, it's just because they have $1 trillion and they like to spend and bring big stars there. I just don't think they're going to be a serious bidder for him. They're just so loaded up and down all over the place. At a certain point, there's only so many of these crazy contracts you could give out. Technically, could they bring them in, and would Juan Soto want to be part of a super team that's really going to be good with Ohtani for the next 10, 12 years? I wouldn't blame him. Plus, it's the West Coast. It's Los Angeles. He's a big star, and he's going to get a lot of money. So, hey, look, if they want to pony up the money for that, I just think even the Dodgers, I think there is a certain point where, enough's enough with so many players. So, I don't think the Dodgers are serious. Red Sox could be interesting. I don't think Soto would want to be part of that, because we see, yes, the Red Sox, obviously more over the past 25 years have won more championships than the Yankees, so they can hold their head up higher. But they have a lot of seasons like last year, even the previous 2 or 3 seasons, where the Red Sox are not even involved in the conversation. So it's going to be Juan Soto, and all right, you'll have one good year, maybe you win a World Series, but then you have 3 or 4 years where you do nothing, you're in 4th place, and you're kind of sputtering around a little bit. The Red Sox have a lot of up and down seasons, and I think Soto's looking for more consistency where the Yankees, but okay, the Yankees, fine. We all know It's been 2009 since they last won the World Series. Okay, they were in the World Series last year. Whoop-de-doo. At least, the Yankees are going to be in the mix every year. And it takes something monumental like Judge, breaking his toe to get them out of the mix. Other than that, the Yankees are always going to be involved in a World Series, a postseason run there. So, whereas the Red Sox, again, they have up and down years. They have 2 years in a row with it. It's not even relevant, which we're seeing right now. So, again, if I'm Juan Soto, I don't take the Red Sox off as seriously. And even the Toronto Blue Jays, okay, maybe they want to throw a lot of money at him and kind of make him the guy and kind of feature him as their kind of star player. But it's Toronto. I mean, come on. Like, they had one playoff berth a couple of years ago, and then since then they've been quiet. Like, I just don't think Juan Soto wants to be part of that same deal. It's like, you have Vladdy Guerrero Jr. there, maybe teammates him for one season. But then after that, he's probably going to hit free agency. He'll be gone. And it's like, all right, you're getting a bunch of money, but again, you're going to be on a third or fourth place team at best there. So I don't see it as serious. Phillies could be a little interesting because they got money and they're going to be relevant for a couple of years, so that could be a potential threat. But right now for the Yankees, the only two serious threats I see are Mets, of course, and then maybe a little bit the Phillies. That's it. I just don't think the Dodgers are really going to want to spend that money. I don't think Juan Soto is going to consider either Boston or Toronto. I just think he wants to be a place where he's going to win very frequently. Toronto, there's no winning frequently there. Boston's no winning frequently there. So, so I just don't see those two as contenders. But I did want to kind of, again, focus on Christian Walker for first base because he declined the offer from Arizona, so he will hit free agency. Now, last season, he did miss about 20 games with an oblique injury there, so he did miss a little bit of time. But overall, if you look at his last 3 seasons in terms of power, he hit 26 home runs last year. The year before that, he hit 33 home runs, and the year before that, hit 36 home runs, and not only providing power, but as mentioned before, has won the Gold Glove 3 years in a row, just the most recent one, 2024. So you're getting a Gold Glove caliber defender. You're getting power. Now, he's not a batting average guy. If you look, he hits like 251, 248, so he's not an average guy, but if we're in terms of a major upgrade at first base, this would be the guy. And they're projecting the type of contract he's looking at is about 3 years at $66 million. Now, all that being said, if you have to pay him $22 million, that's not terrible. Now, the only problem is that right now he's 33 years old, so you're going to have to be carrying this guy till he's 36, and we all know stuff with these players after 35 and after start breaking down a little bit, and the production goes downhill. Just look at Anthony Rizzo, who's 35 right now. But I just think it's a little different situation. First of all, Rizzo has been tatted up the past couple of seasons. I mean, this guy just had the oblique injury this past season, okay. But other than that, he's rather durable. The only thing, though, is that he is right-handed. I mean, ideally, like left-handed first baseman, and of course, with the Yankees, have an abundance of right-handed power, and Christian Walker is a right-handed hitter there. So he is appetizing, but I just don't think the Yankees would pull the trigger on him just because more of the age thing. If he was maybe like 31, 32, and maybe have to give him a 5-year deal, maybe I'd be comfortable with that. But even though it's a shorter deal, 3 years, he's going to be 34 next season, and then you got to carry him for 2 more years after that. I just don't think the Yankees would pony up that money. It's possible, but if he would come in, he would be definitely upgrade over, again, what the Yankees have now, which is a combination of, could be Ben Rice, could it be, kind of a mixed match with DJ LeMahieu as well as Oswaldo Cabrera. And again, I kind of mentioned previously, I'm okay if you want to start the season with Ben Rice. I don't like the whole, multiple guys at one position. I think you should lock it down with one. And if you wanted to start the season with Ben Rice, give him as much bats as possible. And if he fails, he fails. And then you make a move after that. I just don't want, Ben Rice plays 2 games and Cabrera plays 2 games and maybe DJ LeMahieu plays 2 games and you go back to Ben Rice for a game. I would like someone there consistently. If that's the case, I would say go with Ben Rice with that. But if they want to bring in a guy like this, Christian Walker, then of course that would solve the problem immediately. And of course that would be a major upgrade over Anthony Rizzo. And if you look at the Yankees at first base these past 2 seasons, have not been getting production there. Again, that's a position where you expect some power, at least 25 to 30 home runs, and hello, Christian Walker could provide that. A little shorter with only 26 home runs last season because he had the oblique injury, but the previous 2 seasons from that, 36 and 33 home runs respectively, and again, 3 Gold Gloves in a row there, so you can spectacular defense at first base. So again, it wouldn't be a hard sell. Again, I could see the Yankees do it. Again, it wouldn't be terrible for 3 if he's only asking for 3 years. I have the feeling Yankees won't do it, but it is possible. And again, that would be the guy, that best man for the job. Now, a little bit of a sleeper there. If you want to look at some other, if you want to tap into free agency to go to first base. Now, again, this might want to be a little stretch, but you want to look at Carlos Santana. Now, he's 39 years old. I know. I say, well, do we need a 4-year-old there? He's 4 years older than Rizzo. But some players age differently, and Carlos Santana has aged much better than Anthony Rizzo. Remember from all those years with the Cleveland Indians / Cleveland Guardians, and now most recently with the Minnesota Twins. Now look, batting average-wise last season, he hit like 238, but double-digit home runs there, and he is a deep threat, and he just won a Gold Glove himself for 2024. So, and the good thing with him, 39 years old, you only have to offer him a 1-year deal, so it's not a long-term commitment. So if you don't want to pony up big money and multiple years to someone like Christian Walker, you want to say Carlos Santana for just 1 year, which overall would probably be a better option than Ben Rice, than Oswaldo Cabrera, or DJ LeMahieu. It's only 1 year. He's a switch hitter with power. He's been around the game. He's 39 years old. He's a good veteran. Again, he's probably not going to, you'll probably get a batting average about the same 230, 240 hitter. And I know, we'd like to have some guys hitting a little bit better, higher batting average there. But for 1 year, Carlos Santana would not be a terrible idea for the Yankees. So that's something I think they should kick the tire on. And again, as mentioned before, he's a switch hitter with power, something. So, whether there's a righty out there or the lefty out there, it doesn't matter. The Yankees, now, over recent years have balanced themselves out from being too right-handed, but you already, of course, have Judge. You already have, of course, Giancarlo Stanton. And if you bring in Christian Walker, now it's yet another power right-hander, whereas Carlos Santana, he's a switch hitter. So, again, whether you have a righty or lefty out there, he would bounce the Yankee lineup either way there. So that might be one option the Yankees want to look at. And another big-name free agent you want to look at also for third base is Alex Bregman. Third base, I know from the hated Houston Astros. Now, he's only 31 years old, so, it kind of seems like this guy's been around forever because he's been killing the Yankees forever. So 31 is not terrible. I just don't think the Yankees would want to. Again, he's not that he's good. He would be a great addition if they want to get him. Fine, but he looks like he wants to command a big contract, and I'm okay with going with Jazz at third base. And we have Jazz. He's under control. He's making relative peanuts right now. Is Bregman better defensively and maybe offensively than Jazz? Possibly. I mean, in certain areas, obviously Jazz probably has more speed. And of course, Jazz maybe a little bit, more home run power-ish, but then Bregman, nothing to scoff at himself. But I think they like Jazz. They have him there. You could bring Bregman in for third base and then move Jazz to second base. But I don't think they want to keep bouncing Jazz around, trying to field all different angles. I just think they like the idea. I think they like what they saw from him from the playoffs. And again, he's under contract. He's making relative peanuts. So I could see them might start in the year at third base, and then maybe for second base have a competition spring training. Obviously, I don't think they're bringing Gleyber back at all. There just you don't even hear any inkling of that. And go with maybe the young kid Durbin, who right now they got going in the Arizona Fall League. Obviously you want a healthy competition for second base there, but kind of with your eye on Durbin, that unless he just absolutely stinks, he's your man for the job, and just let a young kid come up there and have a nice young duo of Durbin and Volpe there up the middle. Again, Durbin known not only for being a good contact hitter, but a good defender as well, and can steal bases. Gleyber Torres not really known as fleet of foot. I mean, again, he's decent enough speed, but again, not known as a base stealer. Durbin is there, so he would be an upgrade for the Yankees there. And then, and again, if you're not really spending big money at second base, you're not spending money at third base, then maybe it makes sense to splurge a little bit and then bring in someone like Christian Walker for first base, and you can see immediate upgrade on that infield from the start of the 2025 season compared to where he started in the 2024 season. So that's the page on Christian Walker. 33 is going to be 34. And again, projections are he's looking at about a 3-year deal for $66 million. So you're looking at $22 million per year, which again, for that type of power and production and a Gold Glove caliber defense, isn't terrible. It's market value, I'd say. I just don't like the fact that, again, he's 33 years old already, and he's right-handed. Again, the Yankees kind of heavy on the right-handed side in terms of power. That's the one thing I liked about Rizzo. He was a left-handed hitter there, and defensively, you always want a left-handed first baseman there. Just the way the ball is angled there. It's more preferred. It's just, the Don Mattingly types, the Anthony Rizzo's types. That's what really, ideally, Rafael Palmeiro types. That's what you want a first baseman, just the way the ball gets thrown him and the angles it takes. You want a left-handed first baseman to steal some outs there. But nevertheless, if they brought Christian Walker in, obviously a Gold Glove caliber defender would not be terrible. And in other news, again, mentioned Luis Gil. Again, he's officially the Rookie of the Year for the American League. And it's the first time since 1981 he actually had two starting pitchers as rookies of the year there, and the last time for the Yankees, a rookie Yankee in 81, of course, with Dave Righetti, if you want to go back there, way back when. And, of course, some early Hall of Fame news. So some of the names announced for the candidates for 2025. And, of course, probably the two biggest names, I would say three big names, will be, of course, CeCe Sabathia, the former Yankee, as well as Ichiro, Also a former Yankee, but of course you think of him more as a Seattle Mariner. And let's just say he gets in, he will go in a Seattle Mariner hat, which I wouldn't complain about one bit. And another interesting name, another Seattle Mariner, is King Felix Hernandez. Had a stretch there, was absolutely untouchable, but if you look toward the latter part of his career, a lot of injuries, missed a lot of time, but he's kind of a bit of a Sandy Koufax situation where he didn't really have a long career, but he had a number of seasons in there in the middle where he was just absolutely untouchable, so he could make a case for himself. Now, I think this because there's so much going on. You have the Soto news, and I kind of want to talk about Christian Walker, that I'm going to kind of back off the whole Hall of Fame talk, is specifically around CC Sabathia, whether I think he should be in the Hall of Fame at least for a first ballot or just in for a Hall of Fame in general. So I'll probably kick that just so we have some time here. Obviously, we have the whole winter, and they're not going to announce this for a while. I'll do a full breakdown of all the Hall of Fames, but specifically CC Sabathia. I'm going to look back. I want to do a deep dive. I want to look at his numbers and kind of see. Obviously, he's kind of pitched in a weird era because he was a rookie in 2000. So he kind of, we have this different era now where, pitches don't go as many innings and they don't throw as many pitches. So you kind of have to judge him differently, during the era he pitched in versus maybe the way you would judge somebody back in 1982 or 1963. So kind of pitching a bit of a different era, even though he was kind of an old school bulldog type of pitcher that would lug the big innings. So I kind of want to just do a kind of a deeper dive with his numbers there, and I'll kind of then make a case where I think he should be a Hall of Famer or not. So we'll save that for another time. So that's the episode. Guess first round of talks are done with Juan Soto, Luis Gil, not only the Baseball Digest, but Major League Baseball, American League Rookie of the Year for 2024. So again, full congratulations for him. And then again, some other free agents other than Juan Soto that the Yankees may want to consider is Christian Walker there at first base, which would not be a terrible idea. I don't think the Yankees are going to do it. Might be a little gun shy, but if they want to woo Juan Soto, who seemed, again, one of his demands at the meeting was, just the talent around him, not only, I'm sure, with the farm system, but I'm sure he wants some other big name players being attracted to the Yankees as well, just have a good squad around him. And of course, you can't complain with Christian Walker with the power he could put up, and of course, his defense at first. So that might be an option for the Yankees. So that's the episode. We'll catch you next time.